Well, I think the main strength of Reinforced Earth South Africa lies in its team. The team that we've got here is not only dedicated to the engineering side, but we look after things like the logistics and all the needs that arise from the client side. We help them with planning, we help them with all kinds of things. But as I mentioned, we are primarily an engineering company. We don't see ourselves as a supply company at all. And working closely with the engineer up front, especially when that is possible, it is very important for us to cater for all his needs. So in having a strong team like we've got, dedicated to the art of building MSE structures, it's easy to focus on the needs of the client. We don't see ourselves as just a supplier. We don't just supply structures. What we like to see ourselves as a supplier of monuments. I mean, all these structures are going to be around until way beyond our time, and most of them are designed for 100 or 120-year design life. So, when you drive past them, you kind of feel a bit of pride because you know that those structures are probably going to outlast you. So that's it's a nice area to work in because you're not only thinking of supplying the next project. You're thinking about the long haul, and that's why we do the testing of the test strips. So on all our structures, we've always done those test strips, and it's a nice feeling to have. You get a sense of pride. Reinforced Earth South Africa is ideally placed in the South African market, not only because of our technical knowledge and our expertise, but also because of the fact that we are lucky here in South Africa to be close to our main supplier that supplies our group with strips, which means that we've got 100% local content to the local projects. And we also have a very good relationship, so response time is very good with both our suppliers as well as the contractors. And if anything changes, we've got enough of a design team locally to handle all those types of changes. We have in the past dealt with many of our larger contractors, but there's no limit to the type of contractor who can actually do the construction. It's a very straightforward construction process, and it's well suited to new and up-and-coming contractors because they've got access to our knowledge, and we give them training, as we do for all contracts, training on site for both the precasting as well as for the construction phase. And we try to hold their hand during that first couple of days on site, and then we're available whenever they need us. So it's a joint effort. It's a team effort to get the contractor and the construction team up to speed, and there's really nothing holding them back. It's a straightforward process. So anybody could really do it if they can move the earth and they can place the panels. There's no limit to it. Well, for Reinforced Earth specifically, because we work slightly different than the rest of the Reinforced Earth group, it's important to understand that we're renting out our molds into the rest of Africa, which means transport firstly isn't a question. The contractor can do the precasting himself on site, and it gives him the flexibility to tailor-make his solution to the client. So the cost saving that we afford the client is quite significant, but it depends on where you are in Africa. If you have a 2.5 to 4 meter high wall, we are already saving the client a lot of money. So that helps the client to save money as well as the contractor. But there's a lot of other advantages as well, such as the speed of construction. So if it was a normal concrete wall, you would have to shutter it, and you would only be able to start your backfilling process once that has cured and gained strength. So in the Reinforced Earth solution, you after casting, once you've placed the panels, you can start your backfitting. So the time-saving aspect of that is also quite significant for the client. We've learned over the years that most of the consultants, it doesn't matter where they are, really doesn't have the expertise in-house to design these types of structures. And what is needed for you to design it is you've got to select some type of material. So the advantage of coming to us is that we know our materials, but we know which isn't limited to anything specifically. So it can be steel, it can be geosynthetic reinforcements. We know all these materials very well, and that gives us the opportunity to optimize things. But the biggest advantage is that we've got full professional indemnity on everything we design. So whether or not the consultant is taking the lead in the project or us, we still indemnify him. Or if it's a PPP project where the contractor takes the lead, then we've got all that backup as well. So on a professional side of things, we can cater for the needs on the design side, and it's not necessarily necessary for the consultants all to have that expertise. And we don't require our design to be specified. It can be open to alternatives, but at least it gives the client, at the end of the day, the security that he has a product on the table that is going to work for him, and not some or other solution from somebody who has no guarantees and no backup or any track record. And a lot of them do disappear overnight as well.